Hola guys, I'm Giovanni from Univision. ¿Cómo están? How are you?
Doing
Oh,
good.
bien. Yeah.
I have to say that this might be one of my favorite shows of the year. It's so scary, it's so thrilling. I had a great night because I watched it in one day. I couldn't stop. I want to start with something simple, a little bit more fun. Have you ever had a moment in an event or red carpet where you had mustard on your face?
Oh, seriously?
Man, knock on wood, I have not yet.
I have stuff caught in my teeth all the time. I have this one spot in my mouth that I get food in almost every time I eat. So if I don't remember to check, and I'm sure there's been times where I've been on the red carpet and there's been something. There's probably something there right now. I probably should not open my mouth too much.
I think you look great. Dane, by now you're like a master at playing a villain. What was it about Carl that you wanted to play him?
Well, I hadn't really played a villain in a long time, and I think I had a change in worldview since the last time I had played a villain, in which I now understand that there's people in this world that are just bad, evil people that do things for bad reasons. There was a lot that went into me wanting to do this, but I think of all the villains I've played, this is the first one where I've realized, oh, some villains are just bad people and they're just doing bad things. And there's not really a good reason for it, even if they think there is.
Maika, can I ask you, who's scarier, Dane or the ghost from It Follows?
Oh golly. Man, Dane was pretty scary. Man, I don't know. That's a really tough question because is it scarier when you can't even see what's after you? So maybe It Follows, maybe the ghost.
You may not be able to see it, but that was actually me also.
Yeah, yeah.
They were both me.
I have to say, as a fan, I was terrified by both. So
Good. I'm glad.
The show touches and comments in a lot of the problems we have in the country in a beautiful, subtle way, but it does. And Avan, there's a particular scene with a police officer. You guys couldn't predict where we were going to be today. How is it watching that scene now in contrast to when you film it, with everything that has happened in the country?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, even just doing press right now, and you know, we had done press as well in April, kind of the beginning of quarantine, and it feels like we live in a completely different world now. It just seems like so much has been revealed in such a great way, and some really kind of really upsetting things. And so yeah, it definitely feels different for sure.
From my personal standpoint, as I said this earlier, is that you know, although, you know, obviously the events with George Floyd and the police brutality and the abuses of power that we've seen over the last 6 months in hyper focus, you know, those elements have always been true of this, you know, of this place, America, and all this stuff. So I think that I can't speak for Xivina as far as like where the origin is, but you have to look back, unfortunately, not very far back from when we shot her, when it was created, to find stories like this. This is unfortunately a recurring theme. And so I think we were all aware of the sort of weight and totality of showing a police brutality scene against a person of color and what that would mean. And again, not making it medicine, but also and not being too frivolous with it either. Not just it's something that happens and we roll on and we don't address it. The two characters, you know, then go away and have a, you know, sort of a conversation about what that means and why it's different between the two of them. And I think that's substantive, and it's not just for effect, you know. I think which I think is good. And it's a testament to Dina's writing and handle of those situations.
I just want to add to that, you know, the character of JJ says over and over, "I can't breathe," and that's a refrain we've heard throughout American history. You know, it's not a refrain from just what happened to George Floyd. It's happened, like Avan said, over and over and over and over and over again, generation. So yes, I think it was really important too that again, in Avan's hands, I felt so confident that this would be rendered in all the detail that is true about an experience like this, and its after effect, on a human being, and it radically changes the course of his commitment to what he's, kind of endeavored to do that night. And so we get to see, him say in a very kind of no holds barred way, this is a different America for you and me. Period. We cannot go to the police. They will kill me if I go there. So that was really important to say.
What advice can you give to anyone that's trying to move to LA to chase their dreams?
Whoa. Go to school. I think it was always really important to me to go to acting school and learn how to act. I think, there's one way to do it of just kind of going to LA and trying to be famous. But even if you happen to be one of the 5 million people that works out for, it'll only become sustainable if you know what you're doing, if you love what you're doing as an art form and as a craft, and if it's something you feel like you can do your entire life and you can't think of anything else you would possibly want to do with your life. So I would urge everybody to, exhaust any opportunities that their community has before trying to do it professionally, and then trying to, go to acting school and learn it from a classical sense and do it in an old school way, because I think that's what will give you longevity in a career.
Thank you so much. The show is so scary. The scariest part is that you're barefoot on LA.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Everybody.